Hi, welcome to Intermediate Algebra. I am Professor Fort. I am going to be teaching the course this semester. I'm glad you're here for this. I want to do a little introductory video to give you some information about the course, to let you see my face, and to know that there is somebody on the other end of this Intermediate Algebra course. These asynchronous online courses are a little tough sometimes because you never really see the person you're interacting with. So now that you see me, at some point if you're on campus, stop by my office. It's in the West Building 307, all the way in the back by the windows. And I can put a face to your name as well. If you're in intermediate algebra, I assume you're going somewhere, so you're on your way towards stats or pre-calc or a math for educators course. I teach those courses. I teach intermediate algebra. I teach really whatever the college needs this semester. Over the summer, it was calculus courses. I also teach a couple of classes up at Montclair State, and those are math education courses for people who want to become elementary school and middle school teachers. So let's talk a little bit about the course. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the Canvas setup, and we can talk about where to find everything. One thing I would suggest is that you bookmark Canvas, the rvcc.instructure.com, so that you don't have to keep going through the lion's den every time you want to log into the course. This is what my Canvas screen looks like. Yours probably looks similar, probably a little bit different, but pretty close. What kinds of things can I show you with the course in Canvas? Well, the first thing is there's a listing that says course information, read first. A lot of this I'm covering in this introductory video, but you might want to scan through it to see if there's anything I missed. The syllabus is important. The syllabus gives us sort of our guideline for the semester. So my syllabus has two parts to it. This is the main part of the syllabus. So information about the course, my office. Best way to contact me is using the email tool on Canvas. So you go to the little inbox on the left, I'll show you. You click on that and send me an email. This way I know what class you're in. I can respond to you more efficiently. Oftentimes emails on my other system get lost, so the best way to find me is on Canvas. Office hours, 4 days a week, 10 to 11 in the morning, nice and easy to remember. You're on campus, stop by. I'm in West 307H, all the way in the back. So this class doesn't meet at a specific time. Best thing to do is set aside a couple of hours a day, maybe every other day, to work on information for the course. You should be spending about 10-12 hours a week doing work for this course. So it could be watching the videos that I'm making. It could be doing homework assignments, being in study groups, preparing for tests. All of those things count towards that time, but try to make sure that you block off that time so that you know that that time every week is reserved for this course. You will need access to Mymathlab. Mymathlab is not only where you find the textbook, but it's where you do the homework. So if you come back to Canvas where it says Mylab Mastering, if you click on that, yours will have something that says Get Started. You click on that, and then if you have a Pearson account, log in with that Pearson account. If you've already purchased the access code, then you type in the access code. There is a spot down the bottom to get 14 days free access, and then eventually they'll prompt you to either buy it through Pearson, through the bookstore, etc. All right, so when you click on the Mylab Mastering button, after you've linked the two courses, it's important that you go in the first time through the Mylab and Mastering. This way, your Canvas course and the Mymathlab course link with each other. This way, when I go to set up the grades from your homework will import to Canvas, and you'll get credit for doing it. Otherwise, that doesn't happen. So obviously your screen is going to look a little different than mine because I'm the instructor and you're the student. But when you go on the side here, if you go down to where it says e-text, click on e-text, and it's going to make you click a second time. And this is the textbook. So you'll notice that I record the videos, I use the PowerPoints. I don't use the textbook a lot in class, but especially since you're learning from home, the textbook is a good resource if there's something you didn't understand in one of my videos, or you just need a little bit more practice, you want to see another example of something. Here's where the textbook is. So you click on that little bar with the 4 horizontal lines, and it opens up the index. Right? So we actually start the course in Chapter 3, Introduction to Graphing. There's Section 3.1. So there's your textbook. Okay? Page down the bottom. It goes from one page to the next. You can also go by sections, or you can just type a number in. So if you know that there's something you want on page 177, hit 177. Well, there it is. Look, problems. All right, the other thing that you can do, because you'll be able to go in through Mymathlab and access it through Canvas. Right? So when you go to do the homework, if you go into the modules, you'll be able to click directly on, let's say, homework section 3.1, and it'll bring up the homework. It won't do it yet because the course isn't open yet, but all the problems will be listed here, and then you can click on the problems, and it'll take you right to the problem. Now, the problem with that is, look at this. I've got a window, and then a window inside a window, and then it'll open the problems inside a window, and then the problem list, and then the problems themselves will open in a window. Sometimes it doesn't make a difference, but sometimes if you're on a really small screen, it gets real hard to see like the whole problem in one screen. So you can actually just go into the Mylab Mastering, click on Mymathlab, and here where it says assignments, you'll see assignments. I won't have assignments, but you will have assignments. And you can click on there and everything will be listed. 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4. Once you've linked the courses, then you can do it that way too. Right? You can go in and work on the assignments in Mymathlab. And once they're due, then I'll import those grades to Canvas so that you get credit for it. Okay, when you click on Mymathlab the first time, they'll ask you to register. If you have a Pearson account, use that Pearson account to log in. If you don't, you can create one. And you can purchase it there. If you've purchased it at the bookstore, then you can put in the access code if you purchased it some other way. Just be careful that you're not buying an access code that goes with another book, or every once in a while someone tries to sell an access code that they've already used, and it gets real hard to return that. So please make sure you're buying the access code that goes with this book and that is brand new and never used before. All right, so we were taking a look at the syllabus, right? Syllabus seems like a good spot to start. So here in the syllabus, we talked about the textbook. You don't need a paper copy of it. We talked about Mymathlab. You're already here in Canvas, so that's good. What types of things are we going to cover? There is a lot of material in this course. The good news is that you've seen some of it before, right? This is not a course where you've seen absolutely nothing before. You've seen some of it. There's just some that you probably haven't seen or that you're not real good with, and that's why you're here, to build up those skills before you move on to the next course. Student learning outcomes, here's a list of things you should know before the course is done. You should expect to spend about 12 hours each week working on course material. So whether it's watching videos, reviewing notes, working on problems, posting discussions, coming to office hours, asking questions, preparing for the test, this course does move along pretty quickly. But like I said, at least it's not going to be completely brand new to you. You should plan to log in a couple of times each week. Please don't wait. And usually a lot of the assignments are due on Sunday night. Please don't wait until Sunday night, especially if you have a lot of questions you're going to ask. Sometimes I'm not by my computer on Sundays. So please plan ahead a little bit so that you can use office hours, use discussions, and so forth. So the tests are worth half the course grade, right? On-campus tests, you're going to take your test on campus in the testing center. I have dates on Canvas that are listed for those tests. Usually I give you at least 2 days in case you're working one day, then the other day you come in. We'll talk about testing procedures and things in a minute. So those tests are important. That's a department policy. They're half the grade for this course. There's Mymathlab, there's discussions, and then the final exam is 30% of your grade, and that's cumulative. The grading in this course works A, B, C, and then what I call none of the above. So you need at least a 70 to pass the course and to move on to where you're going next. Now, the discussions are a little bit different. I don't know if you've done discussions for other courses. Sometimes they ask for opinions. Sometimes they're just little things to solve. The way I set up the discussions are as problems. So there's 2 or 3 problems, sometimes 4, in each discussion. What you're going to do is you're going to work them out and you're going to solve them. And about Thursday night, you're going to post your solution. And once you post your solution, you'll be able to see other people's solutions. And as they post, they'll be able to see yours and then make comments on each other's solution. So if you saw something that doesn't make sense, you can very nicely say, hey, it looks like you multiplied 4 times 2 and got 6, but 4 times 2 is 8. I think that might change your answer. And then they can respond. And so by Sunday night, if you have any revisions to your problem, then post it as a comment and say, hey, somebody made a good suggestion and I followed their suggestion and now I think this is the answer. And this way, you should all get hundreds by the time you're done if you post early enough and work with each other. If everybody posts on Sunday afternoon, then you're going to lose that opportunity to interact with each other and the benefits that come with it. All right, there is a separate syllabus supplement on Canvas. It's like 5 or 6 pages long. It has all kinds of details. Ways to get help is important. I also posted a flyer for the Tutoring Center on Canvas. Support Center, things like mental health and counseling services. One of the important things is if you have a learning disability, there's a Center for Accessibility and Inclusive Education on campus. They provide the reasonable accommodation forms. You then send that to me, and it's personalized for the course. So I'll have my name and the name of the course. Get that to me as soon as possible because accommodations are not retroactive. So don't give me the accommodation letter in late October and say, oh, now I want to go back and retake tests with extended time or something like that. You can't do that. All right, make up work. Work is due when it's due. So if the assignment says it closes at 11:59, that's when it closes. If there is a monumental reason that you wouldn't be able to complete that, and I put some examples here, severe illness, an accident, you're in the hospital, childbirth, something like that, then we can work something out. I shouldn't be getting requests to reopen homework assignments week after week, because then you end up falling behind and you never quite catch up. All right, tests are taken at the testing center on campus. I did put a note in here that if you know you're going to miss a test, let me know as quickly as possible. I understand you're taking an online course, and so you might be working. You might be going to a conference in another state, and it's those 2 days, and you can't take the test that day. But you would know in advance that you're going to this concert or this conference, or that you're going to somebody's wedding in another state on those specific days. Probably people don't usually get married on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but hey, you never know. But you would let me know that in advance. Telling me after the test is done makes it very hard to give a makeup, especially if I've already returned the test. So after that, I summarized the course in a couple of pages. You might want to print this out. It actually prints out front and back. And then you have a list. Some people like to print these things out and then they can check off, I've watched these videos, I've completed these things. So you see in the last column where it's due, the first thing you have to do is the introductory discussion. So you're going to post a little bit about yourself. Everybody else will post about themselves, and you'll read each other's posts so that you can get an idea of who you're sharing this class with for the next 15 weeks. The first post in the Chapter 3 discussion is due on Thursday the 8th. The final discussion post and the Mymathlab assignments are due on Sunday the 11th. So you'll see these things all listed here. If you keep a list and check them off as you go along, then that'll make it a little bit easier. So organize it by weeks. You notice the first test is in the testing center on Monday the 26th or Tuesday the 27th. There is a link under the first test I'll show you so that you can make an appointment with the testing center. You don't have to make an appointment. They will take walk-ins, but making an appointment at least gives them an idea that, hey, there's a lot of intermediate algebra students that are going to be coming down and taking tests in these days. Let's make sure we have enough space. All right, and then you see the second test is on either the 19th or the 20th. So these weeks tend to run. The first week is weird because we have Labor Day in the middle and a short week. So the first week is actually more like a week and a half. The rest of the weeks are actual weeks until we get down to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a short week. There's only a couple of sections in there. There's 4 tests, and then there's also a final exam, and I have a set of dates for you to take the final exam, a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Monday. And if the testing center, sometimes they open on Saturdays during final exam week. If that's the case, then you could take it on that Saturday also. All right, so in my Canvas course, let's talk a little bit about what's there. There's course information, right? I talked about the syllabus, the supplement. Here's some information if you need some help getting onto Mymathlab. This problem list is a list of additional suggested problems beyond Mymathlab. So if you're having trouble in the course and you're thinking I could use some more practice problems from section 6.4, what would you suggest? Open up the list. That's what I suggest. I put some discussion guidelines if you need some help as to what types of things to post and how to post them. A withdrawal schedule, that's a college-wide thing. There comes a certain point in mid-November where you can't withdraw from the course anymore. And so if you're having troubles and you don't think you're going to be able to finish, then those dates are important. And then there's Tutoring Center information. There's a Tutoring Center up on the 3rd floor of the Bateman Center. This has all the information for you, the hours that they're open, the ways to make appointments, and so forth. So look to see how each of these modules are organized. I have set up the first couple. I have not set them all up, and I have not recorded all the videos yet. But the first week is done. So the first thing you do is you open up the week 1 overview. It gives you information about the course, to what things you're going to do for the week, and the list of tasks that have to be completed. Then the PowerPoint and videos go together. So these are the PowerPoints that I would use if I were teaching the course face-to-face. So there's the week 1 PowerPoint, and then all the videos. Now, sometimes I record more than one video for a section, so there you go. That one's got 2, and so forth. All right, then after that is the online homework, and then the discussions I put down the bottom. This getting to know you assignment, you're going to see these pop up every once in a while, is part of a program that the college put together this semester called Access to Success. And the idea is that going through these assignments and thinking about the way you think and about the way you work through a course might help you to become a better student and might make you more successful in the courses. So they're short, like there's a couple of videos you'll notice at the end of, I think, week 3. Yes, there's one on stereotypes and implicit bias. There is a video that goes along with it. They're short. Some of these are 2-minute videos, but it's something to watch to get you thinking about how you think and how you approach learning something new. And hopefully it helps you as you go through that. There's a word for it. It's called metacognition. Cognition meaning how you think. Metacognition meaning reflecting on the way you think. So you'll see those every once in a while. Please complete them. I think it'll help you out. And hopefully by the time you get to the end of the course, you'll have gained something from that. So week 2 has an overview. Notice the videos are missing because that's what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. But the PowerPoint's there and I'll fill in the videos. So you can certainly work ahead. But if you notice something's missing, it may simply be because I haven't done them yet. By the time you get to week 3 and week 4, you start to see there's a review for the test. I make very good reviews for the test. I also put the answer key up so that you can work through the problems and then have the opportunity to check your answer to make sure that you're doing them right. Right? It doesn't help if you're doing all the questions incorrectly. All right, announcements. I will sometimes post announcements. They should come through because you're logging into Canvas every couple days anyway to do the coursework. So you'll be able to see the announcements. Sometimes they'll simply be reminders about an upcoming test. Sometimes there'll be, an error in the answer key or a change in the schedule or something like that. When you click on grades, you can follow your grades. Everything that I assign, that I give a grade to, will be up there. So you'll be able to track your grades in real time. The syllabus has a copy of the syllabus. It also has a list of all the things that you have to do. So if you like to see it organized by date, you see things come due in chunks, usually on Thursday, on Sunday night. So there's a Sunday, another Sunday. All right, so a couple of these access to success things come at times in between the week. And then you notice that the tests are on there as well. And eventually more things will be added as we go through. If you click on people, that gives you a list of everybody who's in the course. So if you're trying to communicate with somebody and you don't have their email address, or maybe you just know their first name but not their last name, clicking on people will get you a list of all the people that are in the course. All right, a couple of other little things on the dashboard. You notice I got a whole bunch of courses on my dashboard. You can change things, like you can click on these 3 little buttons and change the color of the course. So maybe if I don't want our course to be green, but I want it to be pink, right? So I apply it, and I can change the color of my course. Why does that make a difference? Well, because if I go to my Canvas calendar, right, on the left side outside the course is your Canvas calendar. It will contain everything for all of your courses. Now, these are things from my summer courses. You notice that my summer courses had 2 different colors. Canvas randomly assigns the colors of all of your courses. So I think in the summer, all 4 of my summer courses were green, which doesn't help me when I'm trying to figure out which course has material due which day. So if it does that to you, then just change the color of the courses so that you can see what's due. Now notice when I go to September, I have nothing on my schedule. Oh, I bet you there's some there somewhere. Where? Go over to the side. Over on the side, notice none of these boxes are checked. So I come over here and I check the box for Intermediate Algebra Online. I give it a second, and look at that. Stuff pops up. That's how you see where all the assignments are due. And so you should be able to click on those assignments, and it should take you to the discussion. It should take you to the homework. So if you don't see anything on your calendar, that doesn't mean it's time to go out and party. It just means that we probably haven't checked that box. The other thing that you can do on Canvas is you can rename the course. Notice that I have 3 courses that are all called Intermediate Algebra. But how do I know which one is which? So I can come over here and I can call this Intermediate Online. And that will change the name of my course. So now I know this is Intermediate Algebra Online, and it's not one of the in-person sections that I have. All right, so each week, go through those modules, open up the course information. I got videos, I got PowerPoints. If you've got questions, please stop by my office, send me an email on Canvas, and I think that'll be a good way that we can get going. One of the things I kind of want to impress upon you is that your grade for the semester starts on the first day of class. So sometimes people get to the end of the semester and they're like, the first 3 weeks of class, I didn't do any homework. I bombed the first test because I didn't study for it. But then I worked hard and I made it up, but my grade is still a lot lower than I want it to be. Well, don't lose those first couple of weeks, right? Those first couple of weeks are important. So start today, getting your Mymathlab stuff set up, working through those first couple of review videos and problems, and then each week you'll start to get into a routine. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm glad you're part of this intermediate class this semester.